Chapter 7. Want to do that again? The next day, you're at your neighborhood painting studio, a little ways into class, sponsored by the cafe in exchange for partial proceeds. The teacher happens to be an old friend from art school, Clara, who's way too excited to meet the girl you foolishly texted your college group chat about. Oh, I love the energy in this room. Can feel renewal, new beginnings, shifting relationships, budding relationships. Maybe blabbing to my group chat about the best first date of my life was a mistake. Unquestionably, you're here to hang with Tess, Mateo, and Yaz, while the rest of the LG crew attends a different sponsored event nearby. In practice, you're way too distracted sharing smiles and half glances with Tess, who's sitting next to you. Tess winks, and you maybe, sorta, kinda topple the water glass at your seat. Yeah, Joe, budding relationships aren't an excuse to drip on my Prada loafers. Sorry. Your Zara loafers, you mean? Wow, yes, way to judge someone based on their brands they wear. He has a point, though. The roller derby made you both unbearable. Oh, thanks. That means a lot. Clara flits around the room, setting groups of students up with supplies, and as you're waiting for the brush caravan to come your way, Tess turns to you. Okay, Van Gogh. What should I paint? I've been thinking about it for the last 10 minutes, and I still can't decide. You can try painting the cafe. It would be pretty biblical post-flood. You can put Elvis on a little ark. Oh, wait, no, I like that idea. Not the ark part, but I can paint the cafe, or I'll try my best anyway. What do you mean? You're a real artist. A great one, at that. I've seen those bike sketches. Yeah, meaning I'm more used to sketching and spray painting motorcycles. This kind of brushwork is new to me. Oh, really? I have total faith in you. Tess levels you with a flat stare. Joe, come on. What? Obviously I'm playing dumb, so you'll show me how to paint. Oh. Yeah, don't worry, I'm that oblivious too. Literally unbearable. I need to evacuate. Once Clara drops off some brushes for your group, you help Tess select one, then guide her hand to show her how the brush should move. You can use the edges to shade, like this, and then you're keeping paint on the brush. See? Yeah, that tracks. Beneath your light touch, Tess's fingers flex. Yes, feathers. You feel the movement through your whole arm. Brush your thumb over her knuckles. While guiding her through the next brushstroke, you let your thumb trail over the back of her hand and feel her fingers flex once more beneath your touch. So, just like that? Yeah, just like that. God, this is like pottery seen in Ghost, but if their friends had to be there the whole time. Looks like it's going so well, you two. It is, thanks. But Joe, I thought you'd like to know that your paints are fraternizing. You turn your gaze to the palette, which you apparently tilted by accident, and your paint colors are getting way too familiar with one another. Dropping Tess's hand, you quickly scramble to get things upright. Oops, I guess I should start on my painting too. You think she was scheduling a root canal. Staunchingly ignoring your friends again, you start to sketch out an abstract coastal scene. Tess looks over to see what you're working on, her brow furrowing. It looks weirdly familiar. It's the cove you took me to for our, dance. I wanted to do a piece inspired by him. Oh, seriously, I'm touched. She really looks it. Her mouth is open slightly as she gazes at your barely begun piece, and you can't help but puff up a little. But at your page, you're majorly distracted by thoughts of your potential second date. The second date Tess hasn't mentioned since last night. I don't know. I know she literally said, would you like to be up for a second date? But that was like 13 hours ago. What if she changed her mind? I'm gonna smack you. An internal voice that sounds a lot like Dex tries to tell you that this fear is illogical, but you can't quite escape the nervous feeling in the pit of your stomach. You do your best to paint the ocean until Tess gets up to grab more paint water. The moment she's out of earshot, you turn to Yaz and Mateo, frazzled. I need outside input, stat. Is it too desperate to ask if Tess on a second date the day after our first? Yep. Not the answer I was hoping for. You have to let things breathe. Give the girl a chance to miss you a little, even if it's just for a day or two. But what if we both move and never see each other again? She finds her soulmate. The apocalypse happens. Ah, that'd be great news for you. She's a mechanic. She can totally get you into a good bunker. Are you saying I wouldn't have marketable skills in the apocalypse? You're a painter, so no. Mateo laughs, even Yas chuckles. Joe, babe, I love you, but, yeah, I know. For what it's worth, I say, do whatever you want as long as you're upfront with Tess about it. If she was going to freak out about how invested you are, she would have done that already, like a long time ago. Thanks, I think. Because it's true. You spent the rest of the class more than a little preoccupied with what to do with about the second date crisis, but eventually everyone wraps up their paintings. Tess, this is so cute. Even got the cafe's welcome mat in there. Well, I've always felt very welcomed. Yeah? You must have had a great teacher. Yeah, she's super qualified, it's no biggie. And they said an art degree wouldn't be worth it. You can feel your face heat up as you grin helplessly at her. Mateo groans. Ugh, guys, please, I'm trying to focus on painting my Katy Perry riding a space mountain. Really? You glance at his canvas, which does resemble Katy Perry like blob sitting in space, if you squint. One question, why? I think it looks right. You're officially back on my good side. And yes, I love your, what is that actually? I just painted how I feel today. I swear to God if it's all black. I swear. If you look at her painting, which is an abstract piece full of lots of angry black brush strokes, and gray and red. Got it. Your feelings rule. Finally, Tess glances at your canvas. You're gratified to see your expression shift into something soft, vulnerable, something meant just for you. That's actually too bad. Or not too bad. Ugh. Not too shabby. This is gorgeous. It's like I can feel the salt air, you know? There's so much movement. Careful. You're rapidly inflating my ego. Well, it should be inflated. Have you ever thought about painting full-time? Like, as a career? Yeah, you don't make any money until you actually start selling the paintings. I used to. But turning something I care about into the thing that pays my bills feels like a great way to suck the fun out of it. Oh! Oh, God, tell me something I don't know. Listen, 13 years as a YouTube content creator, literally, all I wanted to do was pay a bill. The problem is, I don't know what to do instead, except keep working at the cafe for now, I guess, until I can't anymore. It's not like I don't like the cafe, it just feels like settling sometimes, giving up on some bigger chances that's out there. There are a few moments of silence, and you're about to apologize for the doom and gloom vibes, but when you look at Tess, she's thoughtful. Honest question for you. You're working with your friends at a place you love. Is that really so bad? As long as you're happy? What if you're not happy? I'm just asking for a friend. You take a moment to process your words, but before you can respond, alright, I think we're just about out of time, everyone. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Tess nods and gives you a gentle nudge. Just something to think about. And you do think about it, as you, Yaz, Mateo, and Tess linger after class to help Clara clean up. Okay, Katy Perry superfan. I'm gonna need that painting palette over at the sink. What if the palette is part of my piece? Katy Deconstructor, whatever Joe would call it. Then I'd say you can deconstruct her even further with some water and rubbing alcohol. Watching Tess playfully joke with her friends like she's known them for years fills you with a sudden wave of happiness. As Tess reaches for Mateo's palette, he pulls it back with an exaggerated gasp, but a bit of paint goes flying onto Yaz's jacket. Dude, watch it. You do not want to mess with me when I just had to miss my bi-weekly Rage Room session. You skipped it, but you love smashing inanimate objects while listening to death metal. Obviously, but I'm trying to set some cash aside so I can make rent, you know, in case we're all unemployed next week. Sorry, Yaz, I didn't mean to mess with your black, slightly darker black, slightly grayer black color scheme. Yeah, you don't screw with it. Yaz rolls her eyes but looks significantly less annoyed, which is basically a hug coming from her. Poor Yaz, and she isn't the only one who's been under a lot of emotional and financial stress. Seeing the spare paintbrushes and supplies still sitting on the tables and easels gives you an idea. What if we all let off some steam of their own on a paint fight / rage room sesh right here, Tess included? Okay, listen, is this gonna be the gold / blue dress? Because I'm about to say it. Her pants are kind of like a brown / red. I believe the word I'm looking for is burgundy. Her top is kind of like a gray tan. Her jacket is black. I'm just saying. Hey, Yaz, this one's for you. You flick a little bit of paint at Mateo, who sputters but still grins. Oh, explain yourself? Yaz was right. We're all super stressed right now, and there's a lot going on. Why not paint fight it out? Any room can be a rage room, if you will it to be. It would be a good bonding sesh, giving us an outlet for our feelings, solve all of our problems. Outlet for our feelings. Given that we can't, challenge Max's landlord to a duel, this seems like the next best thing. Technically you can, just wouldn't be legal. Those are the only two options? Shh, let her talk. Let her cook. We can keep this mostly on spare bits of canvas we used to do before our final projects were due. Remember, Clara? Oh, yeah. Someone got paint all over the ugly sweater my great aunt knitted for me, and then I got to throw it out. It rolled. After you help drag out a few of the canvases that would have been trashed, Clara waves goodbye, giving you a key to lock up. You hand out brushes and palettes. Okay, let's get paint flinging. Yaz charges at the canvas, begins furiously tossing paint at it, which splatters onto you, Mateo, and Tess. Yeah, exactly like that. Everyone gets into the spirit, tossing paint with abandonment, mostly on canvases, but on each other too. Yaz, what else normally happens during a rage room session? Rage, that's literally it. I think about what's pissing me off, I smash it. I think we can work with the first part. Maybe we go around share what's stressing us. Besides the cafe closing and all of us sans Tess losing our jobs. Yeah, I think there's gotta be other stuff going on with you. Well, Jacob, that's my boyfriend Tess, has been driving me up a wall lately. He won't commit to Berlin trip, and it's throwing the whole group into chaos. Because if he doesn't come with Dylan, then Dylan won't come. And if Dylan doesn't come, Gabriel definitely won't come. There's a lot of coming happening, and it's not that kind, but I'm just saying. Listen, I gotta have humor. And if Gabriel doesn't come, it's like, do I even want to be there? Who are literally any of these people? Yeah, no one knows. Just let it out on the canvas, man. Mateo morosely flicks some paint. Rawr. Wow. But then he steps back. He does seem a little less tense, and you gesture for Yaz to go next. I'm scared that if LG closes, I won't be able to keep helping my parents with their bills. My mom sends a lot to my grandma back in Trahan to pay for her medicine, but every month the prices just go up. And so does my rant. And capitalism sucks, and I want to strangle it. Hear, hear. Yeah, no. Especially in America. Yeah, so there's more paint, looking slightly more relaxed when she's done. Tess steps up to a canvas next, taking a deep breath. Work honestly sucked for me yesterday. This customer I hate came in. Imagine Stuart, but with a Harley. Hell, I can't stop imagining it. He was questioning me on every fix I suggested for his bike. It happens all the time. Body shops are such dude spaces. But that means I have to say everything 3 times to be taken seriously. And even then, it's a total toss-up. That... It is annoying as hell, trust me. Having to convince someone that you know how to do your job gets really old real fast. Yeah. Especially when you're good at your job, right? Like, if Big Mac listened to me, even once, his bike would stop skidding out. The customer's name is Big Mac? That's his biker name, anyway. I don't know his real name. Does he eat Big Macs? Is that why he got the name? Okay, I know this guy sucks, but I'm also obsessed with him now. Tess drop kicks a small plastic cup of paint that's on the floor and splats at the center of the canvas. How's that for painting it out? You grin at her and she looks even prouder. Listen, can we sell this artwork? We'll call it Rage Against the Cafe. I don't know, I'm just going with it. Now we're getting somewhere. Your turn, Joe. What have you been bottling up? I'm so taking a turn after Joe, I'm just saying. You dip a brush into some paint, step up to the canvas, delving deep into your feelings. I really like Tess and don't want to screw this up. I think the stress of losing your job might be something that's bigger. I'm trying not to think about it, but that makes me think about it more, which makes me more stressed. Like, haven't I maxed out by now? I feel that big time. Me too, but at least we have each other, right? Yeah, at least we have each other. Medea's words help, and so does flinging a bit of paint onto the canvas. Alright, Locum, what's stressing you? I don't know, the fact I've been doing this content for 7 years and haven't really gone anywhere. Oh, well, there's other people who literally and figuratively don't read at all to any of you, and they don't put in any effort, and they cheat and use hacks and things like that to provide you choices, and I've paid out of pocket all these years and have all the receipts, and also they literally and figuratively tried to cancel our channel and cancel me. Oh, the fact I have health issues, the fact that I'm fighting against so many battles right now, and if I was to tell you what's going on, you would lose your shit and leave. Okay, where's my paint? I don't feel better, but at least I feel better I vented to you a little. You throw more paint at the canvas, and your friends follow suit. This is for my relationship drama. This is for capitalism. This is for being single. I'm just sad, dude. This is for Big Mac. Which the patties on the Big Mac have got significantly smaller. I just had to. Wait, before I forget, do you know if Big Mac has a pictogram? After a bit of cathartic paint smearing, you all start to clean up your handiwork. Tess tugs at your shirt to get your attention. You have a little... She gestures at her face, and you realize there must be paint on yours. Need some help? I couldn't possibly handle it on my own. She laughs, leans closer, smudging her thumb along your cheekbone. Probably making the paint smear worse, but you're not about to complain. Are Yaz and Mateo looking this way? Of course they are. Tess glances over her shoulder and shakes her head. They're actually cleaning. Believe it or not. Why? Because I'm gonna kiss you. Tess blinks and you relish the rare look of surprise that washes over her face, quickly followed by an eager smile. That's... Oh. Better put your money where your mouth is then, Van Gogh. Oh, I'm about to. You slip a 20 in her mouth and then begin to kiss. No, I'm kidding. You lean in and Tess meets you halfway. You kiss her briefly. Yaz and Mateo are still right there, but Just the feeling of it is enough to calm you, paint, fight, or not. That was a good idea. You let yourself lean against her for a moment, smiling as you watch a much more cheerful Mateo, slightly less somber than usually has, put paint supplies away. I'm told I have those sometimes. A little while later, you finish getting the room into a respectable state and head out. But as Yaz and Mateo walk ahead down the sidewalk, Tess links her arm with yours and slows your pace slightly so you're both out of earshot. Hey. I've been wanting to talk to you. You take a deep breath, mentally preparing yourself to ask about the second date. Be normal, be chill, be super casual. You got this. You take another long, deep breath for good luck, not because you're stalling. Same. I wanted to ask, I know we just went out last night, and this is maybe insane, but do you want to come over for tonight for date night number 2? I'll make dinner and everything, my treat. Internally, you're breakdancing and throwing a rager. Externally, you smile. Yeah, the inside of my head's going... Tess, that sounds perfect. If that's insane, we just both must be insane. Yep, good, date, dinner, good, yep. That sounds perfect. Oh, I was worried it might be kind of boring for a second date. No, it's comfy, relaxing, nice, intimate. Hanging out with you could never be boring. Plus you get to see your place. Tess grins, pleased, and your stomach does a flip. Your group stops the next intersection and Tess peels away from you. Oh, it's been real, everyone. I'm heading that way for work, but I'll see you tonight, okay, Joe? Tell Big Mac to accept my follow request. Tess waves, but as soon as she's across the street, your excitement gives way to sudden panic. You race to catch up with Yas and Mateo. Help. Tess just invited me to a dinner tonight. Oh, well, that's great. In her home. I'm not seeing the problem. The problem is how much I like her, and it's been ages since someone I was into wanted to be more than friends. And normally, if things didn't work out, I just go back to being friends. I mean, that's what I've done with every ex-situationship. Speaking of which, tell Kayla I said congrats on the engagement. Destination weddings are the best. Mateo, not the time. But I really want this to work out. Tess is so sweet and so hot and smart, and I can't go to her destination too. And now I need to make a good impression, because she's cooking for me in her home. Seriously, is that not where people normally cook? See, me and Mateo were on the same wavelength right now. Like, dates are just not that much of a big deal. It's just the person you're with is the big deal. It's not that. A home-cooked meal could be anything. What if she serves me finger food and I make a huge mess? Then you're cute and adorable and she helps you clean up, which then can lead to other things. Why am I the... Dude, she'd probably just love the excuse to stare at your hands. But what if she asked to chop an onion and I cut myself? Oh no, she serves me something I'm allergic to. Oh no, you could just ask before eating. She makes me an old family recipe and I hate it. I mean, at least you're trying it. You guys know how bad I am at lying. True. Remember the time Mateo tried to get into DJing? You said my set sounded great, and I fished for more compliments, and you said it sounded like royalty-free backtracking. That was supposed to be a compliment? It just came out wrong? Joe, I think you know that your hypothetical catastrophe is insane and unlikely. Sure, but tell that to my anxiety. Yeah, but if you want to get through a home-cooked meal gracefully, ignoring everything you learned from Lady and the Tramp, twirl any pasta around your fork so you don't slur. Don't grip your utensils like a weapon. Middle finger goes underneath the fork. I mean, he's not wrong. You're not seriously trying to commit all these chef tips to memory, he snores. Oh, forget fine dining tips. Just have fun, Joe. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. She's right. It's just another date. It's not make or break. Best thing you can do is relax and be yourself. That feels literally impossible, but I'll try my best. That evening, you stand in Tess's hallway with a bottle of Chardonnay. What the what? Also, we didn't pick an outfit. You would have thought that would have been, like, important, but I guess not. After about 3 minutes of nervous pacing, you knock on the door, and it swings open almost immediately. She was probably watching out of her eye hole and thinking you're cute. Oh, hey, thanks. You didn't need to bring anything. Please, my mom raised me better than that, and by mom, I mean Mateo. She laughs and ushers you inside. Make yourself at home. Shoes can go on that rack. Ah, you don't want people to have shoes on. Well, hopefully your socks are clean. You've got a hole in one, your big toes showing, I don't know. You feel a wave of familiarity wash over you as you set your shoes on the rack and Tess heads deeper into the apartment, as relaxed as if you've already been here a dozen times. It immediately sets some of your nerves at ease, and you take a deep breath as you glance around her home, breathing in some amazing smells from the kitchen. Wow. Your place is nice. Were you expecting something less nice? With rent prices in the city, I've seen people living in some real shoeboxes, but I meant that it feels like you. I like it. Glancing around, you spot a bunch of nerdy art on the walls. Abstract Star Wars battleships, a charcoal sketch of Zendaya in Dune. You also see a piece of memorabilia from a vintage-looking fighter game, and upon closer inspection, you recognize the designs. This is from the arcade, right? One of the games you showed me? Yeah, I can't believe you remembered. I can't believe you thought I'd forget, although I didn't realize you were this much of a nerd. I mean, I'm looking at their posters, right? I like the Wild Wild West. The other one looks like Mad Max in the middle, and the one on the far right looks... I don't know, I want to say Iron Woman, but... I don't know. It looks Iron Woman, but at the same time, I don't know. Anyway, the art in sci-fi films is just... She looks surprisingly flustered, and you take pity on her immediately. That was a compliment, just so you know. Oh, right. Here, come with me. I should check on the sauce. She leads you into her kitchen, which is shockingly neat, given the sauce is already simmering on the stove. You're a clean-as-you-cook person, huh? That's the only way to do it. I'm kinda the same way, it depends. Yeah, totally agree. This girl can never ever see the state of my kitchen while cooking, under any circumstances. So, what's for dinner? The lemon pasta dish. I've got candied peel accents prepped, and the sauce is emulsifying right now. Words that I don't really normally hear. Wow, that sounds impressively involved. Anything I can do to help? Would you be down to chop some parsley and grate some parmesan? Also, here's this onion. You know, since that was one of her fears, I will do my best not to damage your kitchen. It's chopping herbs and grating cheese. How much damage do you think you can do? You just take the cheese grater and put it up against the wall? I'm sorry, no I'm not. I don't know what's gotten into me today. I have a bit of giggles. I plead the fifth, but I do want to help. Then I trust you not to cost my security deposit. She goes back to stirring the sauce. I'm swallowing my laugh. You stand there for a moment, looking like the Robert Pattinson in the kitchen meme. Never seen it. So I see a cutting board. Where do you keep your knives and cheese grater? Tess blinks, looking confused before her lips twist into a wry smile. Sorry, I forgot you've never been here before. That makes you feel like you're about to float away from the giddiness as she opens a couple of cabinets and sets everything in front of you. Oh, thanks. You chop parsley while she minds the sauce, and you share the space effortlessly. Tess scoots out of your way as she gestures for you to add the grated Parmesan to the finished sauce. Thank you. Before you know it, the sauce and pasta are both done, and you're grabbing utensils to help her set the table as easily as if you've done this a dozen times before. Don't put pressure on it, Joe. Just have fun. And despite your best efforts, and the domestic coziness of it all is hard to ignore. Once dinner is officially served, you take a bite of the deceptively simple-looking pasta, making sure to swirl it all the way around your fork as Matteo suggested. Tess watches your face as you take a bite. The incredible flavor hits your tongue like a sucker punch, and your eyes widen. Where did you learn to make this? This is unreal. Like, seriously, the best thing I've ever had since Matteo hosted a 5-course meal. Tess beams. Internally, you dance the can for managing to elicit that reaction. Well, honestly, most of the food I cook for myself is simple, like all the right food groups, but in the most boring vessels possible. This is one fancy dish I taught myself for when I want to impress people. So... yeah, obviously I wanted to impress you. Oh, that's super cool and also slay. What? You frantically cast your eyes around Tess's apartment for a new conversation topic, since you're dangerously close to combusting. So... how long have you lived here? Tess lifts a brow at you with an affectionate glint in her eyes, but luckily she doesn't comment on your obvious attempt to redirect. It's been a couple of years now. I got lucky. This couple I know needed a subletter while they traveled around Europe for a few months. But then they broke up somewhere in Bulgaria and never ended up moving back in, so I took the lease. That's great, but also sad. Like I said, lucky for me, kind of the opposite for them. Me, I just eat while I have dinner. I'm not much of a conversationalist. I'm serious. Even if I'm really comfortable with you, yeah. Anyway, before you know it, you've finished dinner all together and scrubbed the plates together, as comfortably as if you'd been here a dozen times. Now you're settling onto the couch beside her, heart pounding a little more than strictly necessary for the activity of sitting on a couch. But again, you're next to Tess. So, what do you think post-dinner movie? The best kind of movie? You should show me one of your favorites. My favorite? Are you sure? There's a hesitation in her voice you've rarely heard before. You cross your legs on the couch and turn to face her. Why wouldn't I be? Just my favorite movie is like the indie sci-fi thing. It's pretty goofy. I don't know if you'd want to. Of course I do. Why don't you want to watch it? She sighs and chews her lower lip. It takes a moment before she goes on. It's kind of a big deal in past relationships, not the movie, but me, not matching people's expectations. Okay, I feel that. The kinds of girls who are into tattoos and motorcycles aren't usually into robots and aliens. Yeah, I also feel that. Most of my exes kind of took me at face value, thought I would be cool and fun and capable at all times, you know? So they saw the leather jacket and just boiled you down to some cool girl stereotype. That sucks. A cool girl who always has her act together, so when hard stuff came up and I handled it like an actual person, they lost interest. A year or so ago, I had a comically bad week. I got laid off, grandma passed within the span of a couple days. I was sort of a mess, and my ex wasn't really there in the way I needed her to be. Or at all, actually. Okay, listen, they're pieces of shit. I said it. Yes, I'm so sorry. I remember you telling me about exes who jump ship when things got bumpy, but that's just heartless. You shouldn't have to hide what you like and when you're struggling to match someone else's ideas of who you should be. Your image has nothing to do with who you actually are. You're the one who decides that. And for what it's worth, aliens are awesome. I'm a big fan of E.T., Thing, the little green guys from Toy Story. Yeah, they never actually said what those are. Now that I think about it, they didn't even have a name. Anyway, you're running out of famous aliens, huh? Oh, you want me to go? Okay, Alien versus Predator. I like the Predator, but I like the Alien. You want me to keep going? I can keep going this for days. No way. I can keep going forever. Stitch, Jean Jacket, The Blob. Okay, I accept your nerd cred. You can stop. She gives you a small smile, but there's still hesitance to it in the wake of what she shared. If it helps, you're not the only one who's ever felt like you had to hide stuff. People who would judge you for it. I usually don't talk about this, but I sucked at school. I used to look pretty different. My dating life has always been kind of a mess. And how about lack thereof dating life? Surprising, isn't it? Not really. Anyway, I had a tough time taking things from friends to something more. Most of the time it falls apart in the transition, which has kind of sucked. Sometimes it feels like it shouldn't bother wanting more than I have, but I have to choose to want it anyway, if things are ever going to change. She reaches out to squeeze your hand. That sounds pretty damn brave to me, and thank you for telling me. I never felt as comfortable being real, I guess, as I do around you. You inhale shakily, her words seeping in your body and making you feel lightheaded. Well, I'm glad, because I happen to like the real you. Ditto. So speaking of real, are you going to show me this indie sci-fi movie? Tess laughs, the tension in her shoulders slackening. Yeah, I can do that. She turns on the TV and you watch as the camera pans over to a desolate landscape full of fire and weird little eel things, all the way to the most gorgeous woman you've ever seen in your life, with one exception. Okay, you didn't tell me this movie had a hot girl in it. It's sci-fi, Joe, sort of a genre prerequisite. No, that's actually false. Like, think back to Alien, like OG Alien, right? Not really. And then Alien 2, right? Not really. And then all the Predator movies? Not really. I make my point yet? The film cuts away to another planet where people live in ice pods, including yet another insanely hot girl. Dude, there's more? And get this, they're gay. They're what? This is about being my #1 movie of all time. Des belly laughs, and the smile on her face is infectious. The two of you settle into actually paying attention, which ends up being impossible because the minute the lesbians space kiss, you're wishing it was you and Tess. She better not quiz me on the plot point later. You try your absolute best to refocus. There are worse things to watch than space chicks. The next time you look at Tess, you catch her looking at you. I think this was just an excuse for her to do. You lean in slowly, giving her time to pull away, but she just smiles and shifts closer to you, leaning in and kisses you softly. Hi. Suck it, space chicks. Some choral alien music is playing on screen. When the drums pick up, Tess does too, kissing you more deeply and hooking one hand around your thigh. Tess. She blinks at you, eyes dark, chest heaving as if wanting for you to go on. You realize dizzily that she may want to do more than kiss you, but it's up to you to make the first move first. But a diamond choice. We will go as far as we can until it hurts a certain point, because you two. Moving slowly, like taming a wild horse slowly, you pull Tess's hand towards the hem of your top. You shiver, she immediately tightens a grip on your body, meeting your eyes and nodding like she's been given orders. Slowly, way too damn slowly, she runs her fingers over your skin, her calluses leaving a trail of goosebumps. Her hand skims your waistline for the briefest of moments, and you instinctively gasp, wishing it would move a few inches lower. Judging by her smirk, she's well aware. God, I've been thinking about this for... She inhales on her next breath like the words got stuck on their way to her mouth. For a long time. Tess, how long exactly? She tucks her head into the crook of your neck, and you shiver as she murmurs against your skin. Do I have to say? Yes. Maybe it was long before we started talking in the coffee shop. This is for information purposes. She notices it slightly, and you try to exhale in a way that sounds cool and collected and also sexy. You're not very successful. You don't... I mean, it would be nice. She pulls back, meets your gaze. The heat in her eyes makes her whole body tremble. Since the first day, the first coffee. Yes! Before you can even take a breath, she's kissing you. Messy, insistent, her lips skimming from your mouth to your cheek and back again. Then she shifts down to kiss your neck. You let out a soft whine. She pulls back, looking flustered. Okay, we need to move. I'm pretty good where we... She kisses you again, but this time pulls you off the couch with one hand, using the other to grab the remote. I'm not doing this in front of Baba, the friendly space goat. What? Jesus. Before she switches off the TV, you spot the goat in question, eating grass that looks like an awful lot like DNA strands. What the hell is this movie even about? But that question quickly vanishes from your mind the minute the remote is tossed aside and Tess is simultaneously kissing you and pushing you gently towards what you hope is her bedroom. Oh, it's secretly her dungeon. It would be a lot faster to part ways for the 15-second walk, but Tess seems to be playing the floor is lava, except the floor is kissing you and the lava is not kissing you. Once you're in her room, Tess fumbles for the fastenings of your clothing, trying to keep kissing you while taking them off. She lets out a low chuckle when you nearly trip over yourself. God, Joe, you're letting the team down. I don't have coordination to walk and kiss and shed clothes at the same time. Sounds like a you problem. You arch a brow and push open the buttons up off her shoulders and then lunge for the hem of her tank top. You kiss her neck, then her collarbone as you tug it off. And when you pull back, her mouth is agape. No coordination, my ass. Speaking of, you fumble for a waistband, grinning. Before long, the two of you are pretty much down to your undergarments, which you don't fully process until Tess has pinned you against a wall, and then it takes you about 20 more seconds to restart your brain. You look. She's wearing black. I give it a 10 out of 10. Also, she has toned abs. I dig it. Also like the tattoos. Anyway. Unbelievably beautiful. Women and their bodies truly are magnificent. The world's come out embarrassingly tender. But whatever, you're pretty sure that's allowed, and it's not like you're wrong. Screw the hot sci-fi aliens. They've got nothing on you. This is breath stutters again, which you definitely need to make happen like 20 more times tonight. She kisses you again, sliding her tongue against yours before pulling back to look at you. You are so gorgeous. Her words are breathy with a kind of raw, unguarded sincerity that none of your exes could ever quite manage, and it makes you feel a little bit insane. Tess. Yeah? You slowly splay your fingers around her waist, putting pressure on her hip bone. She gasps, and you're close enough to feel it. The sound fills you with a sudden rush of confidence, and you're not about to waste it. Look at me. Tess, now staring at your hands like she's getting paid to sculpt them, blinks up at you dazedly. You feel your body temp kick up a few more degrees from her gaze alone, heat pooling in your stomach. Question for you, why aren't we using the completely functional bed over there? Because you're asking too many questions. Tess takes a few moments to process your words, and every second she takes makes you feel more and more eager. And finally, after what feels like 80 million years of buffering, she grins. It's that sly smile that's becoming your kryptonite, and your legs suddenly feel shaky. It is an excellent question. She takes your hand, stroking her thumb along your knuckles, and leads you to her completely functional bed. You lay side by side. There's a brief pause as you both stare at each other, absorbing the newness of the moment and waiting for whatever next comes. We have straddle her, kiss down her stomach, or pin her hands. Why not? You hook one leg around her waist and shift your weight onto her, relishing the way her breath becomes faster and faster the further you lower yourself. Her fingers hook under the thin straps of your underwear, and she uses them to tug you forward. You groan, rocking your hips back and forth slightly. God, Joe. She sounds wrecked, and you let out a breath that's more wine than air before kissing her messily. Eventually, you pull back just enough to make eye contact with a very glassy-eyed Tess. She leans back on her pillow, muscles in her arm rippling, and you groan softly. God, I bet you could deadlift me. These are things you're thinking about right now. You're half kidding, but Tess's eyes light up. Before you can blink, she has her hands under you and is hitching your thighs around her waist. Then she's half standing on her knees, so you're totally suspended, glued to her like a koala. That was the hottest thing that's ever happened to me. Low bar. She runs her teeth along your neck lightly before leaning to whisper in your ear. I can do so much better. You shut your eyes, approximately 5 billion fantasies about Tess flooding through your brain. Tess giggles hoarsely, lowering you slowly on the pillows and climbing on top of you. You're so pretty like this. Totally incoherent? I was gonna say flustered, but that too. She kisses you once, twice, as one of her hands slowly trails down towards your waistline. Every inch of skin that she crosses feels like it's lining up in her wake, and you let out a gasp. She kisses the sensitive skin below your ear, her words a husky murmur. Tell me what you want. Can I have your mouth, your hands? Well, I was right to cut off right there, but there wasn't much, I'm going to be honest with you. They kind of fast-tracked what happened next. But it must be true. Because the next morning you wake up to light streaming through her bedroom window with Tess tangled in the sheets beside you. God. Jesus, still fast asleep, just gently rising and falling. Because you can never be too careful, you pinch yourself slightly. And lo and behold, it hurts. This isn't a dream. You really spent the night at her place, and she's really into me. I mean, I've literally been hurt in dreams, and it hurt. And then I woke up and I'm like, ow. Anyway, without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description, plenty of things to check out, ways to support, and whatnot. So, with that being said, it was okay. It was an okay chapter. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. It was an okay chapter. That's about all my thoughts. Like, in all honesty. It was nice, it was romantic, it was whatnot. I apologize if I get away carried. I had some giggles today. But then I don't apologize, because I'm having fun with this. Like I said, it's okay. It's kind of like a rom-com, if you really do think about it, so I'm kind of just doing fourth wall, Deadpool humor and narration and things like that. Just saying. I'm trying to make it light, and then, yeah, we had that moment where, I always feel like, kind of like the spin the bottle questionnaire, or truth or dare, or confession, or whatnot. I always try and do that, right? That way it's kind of like you guys getting to know a little bit of part, a little piece or part of me. No, I genuinely... Sorry, breath catching up. So I genuinely feel like that. Like, there's just... I've been at this gig for 13 years, right? I've been making content for that long. I've done pretty much a lot of content that I'm proud of. Every single piece of content, for the most part, I'm proud of. Especially when I was, doing things before choices. I was doing things like, AMVs or gameplay or trying to bring awareness or, advocacy or whatever, right? There was a lot of things that I was actually trying to do. And honestly, if it wouldn't have been for choices, I was going to give up. Like, choices was my last-ditch effort. So I'm glad choices came along, and I'm glad that this community, this channel, this as I consider it, family, each and every one of you listening, is a part of this family. As it grew, I became happy. However, to me, kind of like she said, right? Painting and whatnot. It's things that don't really pay the bills. And they don't, especially for something that you're passionate about, your hobby or your whatever. It's something that it kind of ruins the happiness. It kind of ruins the honeymoon. It ruins it because you're sitting here and you're going, okay, is this going to pay a bill? And you're working really hard, which something that you started at, you were happy to do, and I really was, right? And then you're like, okay, I would like this to pay the electric bill, or I would like this to pay, for me, unfortunately, the medical aspect came into my life, and then it's like, oh, well, shit, right? And then it's, all your money and everything else is going towards that, and so you really don't have much money for anything. And then so, because of the circumstances, you can't really go out and do what you used to do, especially to earn money like a normal person. And so you're kind of you're between a rock and a hard place, I guess is the best way to put it. But in the bottom of the barrel, you're scraping the bottom, you're in hell, the whole nine yards. And I'm not gonna be too long about this, but um, then you have all these other things and all these other people and all these other, road bumps, potholes, all nine yards that just come along and just they keep testing me, or I guess that's the way I can look at it is like, should I just keep doing this or should I just give up? Like, should I just enjoy my life? And there's nothing I can do. This is the only thing that I can do. But this is the like, should I just enjoy my life versus doing this channel? And so these are intrusive thoughts that I have. I'm gonna be honest with you. These are thoughts that I have that I'm like, should I just quit? I get up every Wednesday and Friday and throughout the week, and I'm like, let's do content for them. I'm not doing it to enjoy it. I'm doing it for you, and the hopes that you know like I will be something that goes viral or something that blows up the channel, and then people are like, wow, look at all this other content, and then we grow and we blossom like a very like a diamond in the rough or a flower that's hidden behind like a bunch of stuff, and finally you clear it away and there's this beautiful blossoming flower. And you just that's all you can do as a content creator is keep hoping for that one video, that one day that things will take their course and you will blow up. And that's about the best way to put it. Is, because then if I did blow up and I did become someone who's bigger, I would be one able to take care of things that I needed to be able to take care of while simultaneously doing things, and then I would feel more enjoyment, I would feel more happiness, I would feel less obligation to do it for the chance of this or that happening, and be like, let's do it just to do it and be back to where you are when you first start, right? Like, it also doesn't help with the whole platform and the algorithm and all that other BS, but I digress. It's like a 2-hour discussion in and of itself that I just don't want to have. It really isn't. So anyway, hopefully you guys understand. If you ever have any questions, ask them down below. Otherwise, catch y'all later. Peace out.